see it? And wait on there. What did I just do with the damn thing? I swear. Okay, so I just knocked a card off. We'll take and see what it is. Settlement. Oh, okay. We're just gonna go like this. Hey, Terry. How are you? I'm good. I'm alive. Oh, did you? Work-wise or otherwise? Oh, some good tea. I'm spending time in nature today. It's cold right now, but it's gonna get decent. I've got to get outside and really, so that's what I am doing. Just recalibrating myself. Gotcha. Okay. Well, I'm like, I've been getting like a push or a nudge towards, how do I say this? Like water, aquatics, the ocean. I know that the ocean's very healing. It's also a conduit. You see my little tweeters, I swear. This is what happens when this is your hair. It's also like you're just highly connected. They're showing me no interference with your connection with spirit, cleansing, that kind of stuff. They said a new palette. And I'm thinking of like an artist's palette. You know what I mean? Like when you utilize like all the colors that you've been doing something with, all the existing colors and paints and everything else like that. They said a new palette. So it's like almost something new that you can do or paint with. Sorry for my dirty, this is my outdoors one. When I go outdoors, this is why it's dirty, because I climb and go into the mud and everything else like that. And so when I intend on doing that, that's what I wear. So I already put it on and everything. Let's see here. I'm good. How are you? Let's see here. So I'm catching either there's a cleansing that's happening. It's like a cleansing of the palate, a cleansing of, so if I were thinking of an artist's palette, it's kind of like, different paint, so there's a song on a Disney movie and it says paint with different colors of the wind. Like there's just something, either how you express yourself is going to be different, or the lens at which you're seeing something through, so that your palette is completely different, or a new take on something, because the whole better connection, cleansed, more unobstructed connection with spirit. Like every time I think of salt water, it is again in a conduit. So this may have a woo-woo factor to it today, because we're really talking about your channel, your connection, unobstructed channel for something. And if we're also, it could be an unobstructed channel of your gift, which isn't necessarily psychic or something like that, right? I'm thinking of people who create music, and it's when they feel like they're connected to somewhere else, somewhere different, and it's flowing through them. They talk about this. Or an artist who does something. It's like like whatever you're going to do with your talent or with your abilities is going to look completely new, and it's because of an unobstructed channel with spirit, like something has been cleansed. So that's what's coming through. I'm like, okay. Let's see here. I worked some last night to really cleanse the hey country girl, my decks and everything else like that. I really took a lot of time with them, so hopefully we got fresh energy and everything else like that. You can call me Boo. It's okay. Okay, let's see here. Where are we gonna start? Moon magic. Okay, I think we're gonna use a couple of the newer decks. So we're going to again pull this out, and they keep harping on me, and it's my fault. I have an oracle deck that's a German one. That's along the lines of Kipper Lenormand type of situation, and it's new, and I haven't really I kind of know it, kind of don't, and I need to spend some time with it. So they keep reminding me. They're like, "Oh yeah, I remember the other deck," and I'm like, so that's on me. I have to actually get with it, spend more time with it, basically. Thank you. Okay, they just clarified the song for me. It's Paint with All the Colors of the Wind. All right. They be pulling in some songs lately. This is a Disney one. I know that. So let me pull up the fucking lyrics, because apparently that's going to be something. Hold on, guys. All right. Oh, so is this from the Pocahontas movie? It is. Okay. Okay, so they're bringing me to a particular lyric. You think the only people who are the people who look and think like you. But if you walk the footsteps of a stranger, you'll learn things you never knew you never knew. Yeah, can you sing with all the voices of the mountain? Can you paint with all the colors of the wind? That's the line they bring into. Can you paint with all the colors of the wind? Why are they saying that? Come rolling all the riches all around you, and for once never wonder what they're worth. We are all connected to each other in a circle and a hoop that never ends. There's something here. You can own the earth, and still all you'll own is earth until you can paint with all the colors of the wind. So it's like you can get what it is that you want, but that's all it ever be, is this tangible thing until you learn. I feel like the paint with all the colors of the wind is being in touch with and connected with spirit in all facets by being totally yourself. It is your true expression. It's owning your true expression. Okay. And then they're bringing me back to the whole, you think you own whatever land. Oh, no, not that one. You think the only people are the people who look and think like you. Okay. We'll see where it goes, guys. Can you see the value beyond? It's almost like seeing the value beyond, right? Because she's like, she talks about being in touch with the trees and the animals around her. And she's like, can you see the value beyond what it can give you? Can you see beyond the monetary value? Can you see beyond the ownership, the status that something gives you? I shan't be doing any books today, Spirit. Thank you. Okay, let's see what this one is. One more, they said. I don't know where it's going. How's everybody doing? Hi, how are you? Okay. Guys. They keep singing songs in my head to me. All right. Let's do this shit. Again, new deck. I'm still learning. So as a backup, like I pick up energies, but I'm sure there's always something that is infused in each one of these cards because by the creator themselves. So I don't ignore that. So the toad, okay, so the first one is toad, which represents being trapped, hardship, and like a transformation. It's a temporary shadow that hangs over you, and while it can be tough to navigate, it won't last forever. Take a tip from the moth and look for a glimmer of light to get you through the darkness. Okay. I feel like this is a story. It might be past to present to future. Is what it seems like at first. This is being in the dark. This is things not going well. This is transformation, isolation, feeling trapped. And then the full moon, no joke, is luck. It's such a bright and happy card, which foretells great good fortune and dreams coming true. Okay. The energies of this card can also suggest a time of craziness when life gets a bit manic before calming down again. Just know that it's a brief period. It will soon pass. Take extra care of yourself and your loved ones until the moon madness passes. It's a wonderful card full of positive energies and good vibes, bringing bright blessings your way. Enjoy it while it lasts. Okie dokie. Okay. Okay, let me reread this because I totally read the wrong thing for Toad, which I thought was a little weird because I thought he was about abundance. But I was like, this is not my fucking deck. And I feel like it's weird that I went straight to this. Like I don't know how to count or some shit. So maybe the energy that some people have been in has been that sense of trapped and transformation. Let me read this one for you again. When this card comes up, it is reminding you that beauty is within and that you should not hide your unique beauty away for fear of a judgmental society. paint with all the colors of the wind, full expression of yourself. That makes sense. It is also asking you not to judge others on appearances alone, for they can be deceptive. Take people for who they are, not how they present themselves. Um, be prepared in this time to look beyond the surface. The toad is a creature of the moon. No fucking shit. He's magical, musical, and on occasion poisonous. He asks you to tread softly and judge on behavior, not appearances. Look beyond the scars life has left behind and learn to see the inner beauty within yourself and others. I think that's exactly what it's talking about. I think this is talking about not judging yourself for the scars that you hold or that you have. And that looking beyond that. Okay. What the actual fuck, y'all? This is what happens when, like, this is called initiation into a fucking deck. Like, I don't care how many times I read a deck, until I start using it, shit doesn't land for me. I have to use it. So if you are irritated by reading from a book, by all means, today's not your fucking day. Go ahead, have a great one, okay? Just saying. Nightmare, as in the horse. This is the middle card as well. Fear, courage, and overcoming. Ooh, it's almost as if somebody's scars. It's like you're afraid of full on expression because of, like, people will be able to see your scars. Like, people will be able to see. Maybe this has everything to do with people who knew you at one point, and so they knew the old you. They knew. I heard gullible, like whether you were gullible or whether you were taken advantage of, or whether it's you're even embarrassed of stepping into any sense of prominence because of the way that you used to look. Like, I feel like there's like, oh, you know, because scars are very visible to people. So people are maybe very aware of where you've been, what you've done, who you were, and that may make you feel like you want to hide. The nightmare knows the best way to overcome fear is to face it, and the best place to face it down is in dreams, as we sleep safely in our beds. When this card comes up, it is suggesting that you take steps to face up to the things that frighten you, whether that is a phobia such as for spiders or an existential fear such as loneliness or death. Explore where you're a fear of being seen completely. Because, you know, when you step into the light and you do your full expression, this is even like, this is getting to the sense of, even when you say something that people don't fucking like, when you do something that other people are going to judge, when you let's use the example of individuals who are neurodivergent, who are on the autistic spectrum, right? And so they don't fit a mold that society has created. Nobody really should. In all honesty, everybody should break out of the mold and create their own. But sometimes, you know, people learn to mask so well. And, you know, I always talk about, I love the people that I can be completely me with, you know, where there's never a stop sign, right? Now, not having a stop sign means I can be me. That doesn't mean people don't have their boundaries, right? Where they're like, I'm not going to tolerate this and I don't like this. It doesn't mean people won't establish boundaries with you and say, this is the one thing that I don't want to engage with or I don't want to hear about. So it's one of those things where it's like, but if you can feel fully seen without having to hide any aspect of yourself. And so paint with all the colors of the wind. Can you paint with all the colors of the wind? It's like, can you unapologetically be authentically you. Even in the face of scrutiny, even in the face of people seeing um, any fallacies, in the face of condescension or um, bullying, being made fun of, or when people say, "I'm not." I mean, when you're fully yourself, some people will back away and go, "Oh, no, thank you," and that's their prerogative. Can you still own that, or are you going to accommodate people like, "Oh, no, no, no," like feeling like somehow you've lost out because somebody backs away from you because you articulate and set a boundary, or because you're authentically yourself, or because you express yourself fully? It's like, then maybe they're just not meant to be in your inner circle, right? Are you going to allow that to hinder you or stop you from doing that? That's the question that I think is being posed. Explore where your fears come from. Try to understand it and its origins. Ride that nightmare until you have tamed her wild spirit and rendered her powerless over you. The more you step authentically into yourself and you express yourself completely as you are, whatever your weird is, and no matter other people's reactions to that, whether it's an acceptance or a rejection, and you're like, I stand in my power, like I love me, and that's all that fucking matters. Like, are you willing to do that when people try to say, well, like try to act like, well, let's say you're a great artist, and they're like, well, you weren't when you're younger. It took you this long, so it's not really a natural talent. And it's like, I'm a great fucking artist. Fuck you. You know what I mean? Like, are you going to are you going to hand your power away? Are you ready to be fully yourself, no matter how other people take it or whether they approve? While it's impossible to live without any fear at all, it is possible to live fearlessly and to face down those terrors as and when they present themselves. Next time the nightmare visits you, jump on her back and see where she takes you. Bitches. Can you paint with all the colors of the wind? Can you see the beauty in something beyond the value that somebody else has said or placed upon something or you? Right? Because in this song, "Can you paint with all the colors of the wind?" She talks about that last verse. If you own Earth and then all you do is own Earth, unless you can paint with all the colors of the wind. Like, it's about finding and seeing the value in yourself when despite what other people, and guiding your life based upon the value you see in things rather than the value that's been placed on it by society or external people, because that's when you see things completely differently. You need to be fully expressing yourself, period, fucking point blank is what I want to say. Nightshade. So this poisonous plant grows all over Britain. um The nightshade card represents poisonous people and toxic situations. It is quite a tricky card, for in reality, it is not always possible to avoid such toxins in society. You can meet them in any area of your life. You might work alongside a spiteful gossip or have a nasty boss. Your mother-in-law might be a nitpicking perfectionist and you can't do anything right in her eyes. Or your spouse might be difficult to please. This card also denotes toxic situations such as bad relationships, hateful jobs, bad investments, and negative, shady friend groups. The nightshade comes up in a reading. You are wise to be on your guard. Assess all situations and relationships carefully. Be wary of any new people who come into your life at this time, for they may not be all that they seem. This is especially likely to be the case if toad or fly by night are present in the spread. Woo, we got toad, bitches. Also be aware that just because someone has been a friend for years doesn't mean that they are trustworthy in all things. It could represent someone who is kind to your face but secretly working against you when your back is turned. We've talked about these motherfuckers. Someone who has a hidden agenda. It just reminds you to be cautious. Know that if they speak badly against someone else, they are probably speaking against you too, behind your back. Nightshade is asking you to protect and remove yourself from such people and situations and remain watchful on your guard against these toxic individuals. I feel like it's also like, and not bending to their influence, right? Not handing your power away. It's just fucking not handing your power away, guys. Okay. I feel like there is this notion right now, and then we've got this dream weaver right here. So the nightshade is next to dream weaver. We fucking know what dream weaver is, and if the overall energy is being willing to face your fears and fully be seen and authentically yourself and expressing yourself in every facet, right? And like cleansing the palette and starting again. I feel like there is a cleansing and a connection to source and just a fresh start to be authentically you without having any kind of influence or colors mixed in with your palette that belong to other people. Like don't utilize going after your fucking dream. Don't utilize or listen to the value that somebody else has placed upon it, or what your abilities are, what your capabilities are, what your talents are. There is like going full throttle and fully expressing yourself in some manner and not allowing someone else's value on anything, what you're doing, who you are, how you should do it, to color that, right? Like to not use a limited expression or understanding of what the value of something is, okay? Is going after your dream, period, point blank. That there's going to be people who will be shady, who will try to underhandedly say something to you, who would try to sabotage something. Don't be surprised that when you go after your dream fully, without being uninhibited, if you go after a dream uninhibited, people, don't be afraid. Do it anyways. I don't fucking care what people say. I don't care if you end up losing people. Believe people when they tell you who they are the first fucking time. And we had this reading before where we're talking about people are going to show themselves. You're going to see old faces and new people pulling the same stunts that other people have. And you're going to see people who are existing in your life fall away, okay? Because they're showing where they really are. And if your full expression has them falling away, so fucking be it. There's a lot of luck to be had and positivity to come from fully expressing yourself. Like, I feel like uninhibited throat chakra, artistic abilities, like just allowing the way that source energy comes through you and is expressed in this world, period, point blank. Okie dokies. So let's find out why this is a thing that's coming up right now. Maybe you've already seen this starting to happen. They want me to go back to Toad. I'm like, what am I missing? Why are you bringing me back to... What am I missing? Oh, value, truth, acceptance. Acceptance of yourself. Acceptance for who people are. I'm going to switch some of these things around because I feel like Toad and Nightshade, because they mentioned in the book that these two things are together, and they're both really talking about this. They're saying, guess what? You need to accept people for who they are, and when they show you their true nature, just believe it. and that not everybody's going to be for you. And don't allow that to be the thing that stops you from expressing yourself. Don't be afraid of other people's rejection or lack of acceptance of something. Don't be afraid or hold yourself to the value. Like if people only value you because you accommodate them, then don't hold yourself to what they consider valuable. And then the full moon, which is all about the luck, and like there's a lot to be had, a lot that will come in by fully going after what it is that you want, by going after your fucking dreams. I'll read the Dream Weaver for you since I didn't. Goal setting, action, and effort. Dreamweaver is reminding you to determine your own path through life because to a large extent, your destiny is in your hands. Whether you choose to fully express yourself uninhibited is on you. Whether you allow other people, whether you hand your power away to other people because of the value that they've placed on what you have to offer or the value that they have on you accommodating them, all of that. Oh, this card is the antithesis of drifting through life, expecting everything to just come to you, growing increasingly resentful towards those who go out and make things happen for themselves. Dreamweaver is telling you to take charge of your destiny by setting a few goals and working steadily towards them. Don't be one of those people who constantly complain that they can't catch a break or get a foot in the door of their dream job. Don't sit back and wait for someone else to open a few doors for you or give you a leg up. Do those things for yourself. This is a little different than a couple of the other readings we've had. You are your own leg up. You can open up the doors to success. However, you must be prepared to put in the work. The universe works with you, not for you. Co-creation, we talk about it all the time. It will only match your own level of effort. So if you don't put the effort in, you won't reap any rewards. This card reminds you not to keep playing the victim, but to take on the role of manifester. Determine what you want and then take determined steps towards having it. Set your goals, work towards achieving them every day, and then set new goals and begin the cycle again. The world can be divided into those who live out their dreams and those who don't. We've talked about living and actually experiencing. The difference is those who do are active participants in their lives, while those who don't remain passive. Take positive action today towards one of your wildest dreams. There's so much luck and abundance to be had. Create and live a life you truly love, one wherein you feel blessed every single day. Weave your dreams into the fabric of reality. We've talked about manifesting, and a part of it is taking action towards something. Like, can you really truly say you want something if you've never done anything? Like, it's not just going to come through your fucking door while you're sitting on a damn couch, right? And so some people, sorry, I'm just going to put my hair up. It's getting on my nerves. There are times, guys, there are absolutely times when we are told to sit the fuck still because there's nothing we can do because we've already taken the action that's necessary for the next step, right? And so it's really kind of like on the universe, like other things have to fall in place. And then there's other times where it's like, it's go time. And I think that Spirit's been saying that here recently. And maybe somebody's just not listening. It's like, be full on, unapologetic. In some of the previous readings here recently, we've also been talking about something coming towards you and you needing to take steps. And for some people, they've taken the steps, right? And they're waiting for the other thing to arrive. And then for others, it's something's going to arrive and then you have to take the step. Like you have to be an active participant, right? So in this one, this is obviously addressing somebody who needs to actually take some steps and actions where what's coming in and maybe the fear, right? Maybe the value somebody else places on what you do is stopping you from going full throttle. Maybe the value or maybe your fear of being rejected in some capacity is stopping you from going full throttle, paint with all the colors of the wind. And maybe the scars, your battle scars that you carry. You're afraid people will see you. They'll see it all if you fully put yourself out there, which can bring scrutiny. But when you place value on something based upon what you value and not somebody else's value of you or what you do, then guess what? Who fucking cares? That's a part of being seen. The more you face that fear, the more you don't give a fuck. The more it no longer disrupts your harmony, disrupts your peace, the more that energy is not allowed to permeate and enter into your energetic fields, right? The more you don't give a shit and you stand firm in what you value and believe, in your truth, in your expression, who fucking cares? All right. And you just got to be okay with it. All right. New era elements, guys. If you only saw my head rolls and snaps to everything you are saying. Sometimes they're showing me a person who will take a few steps and they wait to see what Spirit's going to do. And it's like, that's not really how it's supposed to be. Like, keep churning forward. And it's almost like that shows like a sense of need of validation a little bit. And while we all can, like, look, we're all growing, right? We can all do that. Don't allow that to be the thing that creates a barrier, an obstacle, or stops you. Because you then will hear the old voices of people past trying to tell you how, oh, it's not valuable then, because you're not seeing immediate evidence, or you're not seeing something from Spirit. And maybe Spirit's just like, keep going. I'm doing my thing. You know what I mean? Like, just keep going. Spirit will show up in the mix of what you're doing. Your intuition will chime in when it's right. And so just keep going, right? Don't stop and wait every few actions you take to see, was that good? Was that, you know what I mean? By all means, pay attention to the information around you that you receive back, but don't necessarily be beholden to that. Like, use it as what it is, information to help you discern. Okay, we're going to take, well, looky here. We've got the Queen of Cups and the Ace of Cups. Queen of Cups and Ace of Cups. Okay. Mm-hmm. We're going to talk about the Queen of Cups and Ace of Cups here in just a second. We're going to take a look at these cards really quick because this is popping out to me. We've got here's the Eight of Cups. It's almost as if so they're showing me a couple of different things. They're, in my mind's eye, they're showing me also the Four of Cups. So likening it to that, almost like there's a walking away from something, but also a hesitance to walk towards something. And so it's almost like somebody holding themselves in this liminal space. Like, you took the action to distance yourself from something else, but you've yet to move towards the other thing. They're saying hesitancy. There's a hesitancy there. And that may go in with the vision I was getting where somebody's like, I took some steps. Okay, now do I keep going? Do I wait? Like, like they're like, and it's like, you need to keep what you have discernment for a reason. Keep going. Don't stop every few steps just to make sure, you know what I'm saying? Like, keep moving. Because with the 8 of Cups, that's how you get to the 9 of Cups. You can't just turn your back on something. You actually have to walk towards. The whole point of the 8 of Cups is leaving something to go towards something. Hold on, guys. Let me make sure that's not something like the school. Oh, it's my friend. I'll call her back. Sorry, like, my son just got over strep throat and all the other stuff. So I'm like, I'm waiting to see if the other school calls me, like the other child. You need to come get him. Oh my God. Okay. Anywho's, and then we've got the 4 of Swords. And that's where I feel like that's like there's been a pause. And by all means, if you needed to kind of like gather your wits, because if it was difficult to walk away from whatever it is, whatever the fuck it was, if that was really difficult and you're just like, because sometimes that happens. There's a particular deck where like the person's about to jump off the cliff, but they stop, they pause, and they look back. There's like a reflection moment, right? Or a reprieve to gather your energies, or like a, you know what I'm saying? And then you move forward. That's perfectly okay. So I see a bit of a pause there's a bit of a leaving behind something and then a recalibration period, which we've talked about. They've mentioned something about having a recalibration period, almost getting your shit together. Like when, like, because this isn't the pleasant thing. This isn't the most pleasant thing, right? And it's almost as if before the 9 of Cups, your wish fulfillment, there's a bit of a pause. And oddly enough, like a recuperation, like a rehabilitation, right? We talked about that yesterday. And so instead of the 9 of Cups, they give me the 9 of Pentacles. It's like whatever you walked away from, maybe it's the fear. Bitch, you walked away from the fear, and that's bringing in your freedom. Because maybe you were inhibited and limited because of your fear. That's what it feels like. And so now, by doing this and then taking the time to recalibrate, you've taken the time for yourself. Like, you've dropped the fear and you are now, it's like, I don't know, like there's a nurturing that's happening. Like, I feel like somebody had a lot of physical dis-ease within their body. They had symptoms of their fear. Like, it took on somatic symptoms within their body. It took on digestive issues. It took on migraines. It took on sleepless nights, insomnia. It took on it took a toll on somebody. We've talked about this as well. And so it's almost like that fear, because they're showing me the Devil card. It's like that was the thing that imprisoned you. And so what you've walked away from was, and I think that fear was based in other people's value of something. And that could have been a safety net. Like, as long as I placate these other people, I'll be safe, right? And so somebody's like abandoned that fear. I heard fuck it. And so there's this recalibration. It's like something about dropping that fear and stepping into you and just being you and painting with all the colors of the wind is so very nurturing. And because this is like meditative, Four Swords is that meditative vacation, pause, recuperation period, rehab period. It's like, no, I'm going to get back to myself again now. I don't know why I stepped out of myself for a period of time and I allowed fear to take over me. And then because of that, like all kinds of shit went wrong. But like, I'm no longer a part of that. I'm going to be authentically me and I'm going to be completely expressive of me. Like I was be doing parts of me and not parts of me because I was afraid. And now I'm doing fully me. Fuck it. Fully me. Fuck it. And that has given you the freedom. But what you don't realize is I feel like this impacts so much in your life. It's what was needed in order to gain this financial freedom. But I also just feel like straight up fucking freedom, independence, autonomy, owning your shit, being okay if people don't like you, being okay if people don't agree with you, being okay with the weird looks that you get for being authentically yourself or going after what it is that you want. I didn't tell people that I was bisexual for most of my life. I found that I would tell strangers quicker than I would people close to me because the fear of what people that were supposed to be close to me or in my inner circle could do was to me more greater than what strangers could do. Because if a stranger doesn't like me, I don't fucking care. But when you hear people that are very close to you saying god awful things, which I am hearing repeated today in the United States, it's a scary time. And they say things like they should be eradicated from this earth. I heard the exact same thing when I was 6 years old. That's also the same time I knew that I liked girls. And so it's one of those things where it was like, I didn't understand. I'm a good person. Why would that, and the fear it created in me and how quickly I learned to hide aspects of myself and to be a people pleaser for my safety. Because I just wanted a chance to live. When you're 6 and impressionable, you don't know if what someone says to you is possible, true, or not, especially if it comes from a supposed trusted source. You learn real quick to forsake aspects of yourself and to create a mask so that you're accepted, right? And so there's this sense of walking away from a fear of being authentically yourself and operating in full expression at all times. That frees you in more ways than one. You are literally liberated from carrying the weight of the world on your shoulders. Does that mean that suddenly today I don't recognize the dangers that exist in the United States because of piece of shit people who think that certain people shouldn't be able to exist on this earth? I'm still very aware of it. But the more I faced that fear, the more I came out, the more I owned who I was, the less anybody had power over me. The less I feared other people. Like anything you can do to me, we can do to you. So if you want to go toe to toe like that, fine. This belief that, you see it today. I by all means don't want to be around people like that. And I won't have anything to fucking do with you if you're that kind of a person. You can get up out my motherfucking energy field. I'm not afraid of you. And if you're brave enough to speak such bullshit and bigotry, I'm brave enough to call your bitch ass out. I'll meet you there. And I'm not saying that this is for anybody in that capacity, although it very well may be. But there is a level of when you put down that burden of other people's expectations, other people's values, fear of how other people will react, and fear that people will reject you. It's like Rhino Spirit, you're unstoppable. The resistance to being you and going after what you fully want stopped your abundance. And I know abundance because we got the Ace of Pentacles. It's a completely new trajectory and path in your life. And so like with the Ace of Pentacles, Ace of Swords can be a new truth. It can be a dramatic change in your lens. So therefore your whole world changes. But the Ace of Pentacles is visible, materialistic changes. And I don't want to use materialistic because I'm talking about the material world, the 3D. It is a new start in your human life. You can touch, taste, feel, sniff, scratch, whatever you want to call. Like it is tangible. It is a tangible new start, and it is reflected in your environment. This is external. The Pentacles is everything external. The Cups, internal. Swords, internal. Wands, internal. And as within, so without. This is starting now because you chose to be you. 100% authentically you, uninhibited with your fucking expression. I'll be damned if people like it or fucking not. I don't fucking care. Because those who align with me will find me. Those who align with me will hold space for me. Okay? Okay. So, let's get back to the Queen of Cups, Ace of Cups. I'm going to say of all the queens, the one that's known the most for being genuine, sincere, pure, and authentic. Like Queen of Cups. She's made sure that her cup is full. She loves herself. This is the epitome of self-love. And that's why you'll see her in her pure authenticity, sincerity, pureness, genuine state. Because there's a lot of self-acceptance here. There's a lot of love for the self here. Her cup is full. And that's how she's able to pour into anybody else's cup. She also has a value of her own cup now, where she has learned like the depths of what she can feel and the depths of what she understands etherically, because she's taken the time to explore herself and discover those things about herself. Because any of the feminine energies in the tarot are all about your internal realm. They really reflect who you are internally, your inner world. And then we have the Ace of Cups, right with the Ace of Earth. It's literally like that's what's on offer. Her fucking cup is on offer. Her true, authentic, genuine, sincere, pure self is what is on offer. And as a result, And this comes as a result of dropping that fear. But as a result, the freedom she experiences and the new path that emerges because of this. That's what comes back in reciprocity. This is what she has on offer, and this is what she's giving out. And what she receives back is this. I swear, I just heard Spirit go, a whole new world. I'm like, we're on some Disney shit today. Okay. That was the secret sauce I'm hearing. Are you serious? Are you kidding me, Manishka? A whole new world. Sorry. No shit, LP. Part of being quietly bisexual is that you hear truths of both sides, hetero and homosexual, and have better discernment. Man, if you're living authentically as an attack on someone else, it says more about your personal security and their true insecurity. And also people's preference. Let's talk about this for a second, okay, guys? You're not going to be everybody's cup of tea. But that's the beauty of it. Because now you're going to know who's really there for the you, not for the you that you present to them based upon the values that they have exerted and based upon the criteria that they've told you need to be in their world. Who fucking wants that? Discernment is like top tier on point. When you show who you truly are and people are like, this is just not my cup of tea, be okay with that shit. Bitch, go find your tribe. Go find people that align with you. I want the same for you. Thank you for not expecting me to change who I am. Thank you for not expecting something different. And then when the people shame you for that shit, well, appreciate that. Please keep flying your red flag really fucking high. Because other motherfuckers need to see that shit. I want to know a mile away, bitch. I will stay. I promise. I'll stay away. Thank you. Thank you. Oh my God. A whole new world. I'm like, you know, it's funny. I think we're going to do the Hermetic and this, and both of these are exceptionally spiritually based cards. So we're going to start over here, and then we will pull from the Hermetic Tarot, okay? Hold on. You're bringing me too much energy for 12:30 a.m. I'm getting amped up and sassy with you. Thank you. We just need to get you to the U.S. so that you can be on the same time schedule. How's that? Or me there, because at this point, I feel like maybe I don't. I'm just saying. Let me. I am loving the new energy that the new decks are bringing. I'm on the same time. I'm always awake when it's daytime there, Sean. Okay, here we go. Transformation again. One of these other ones was a transformation. 48 is a number because we've got both 48 here. 4s and 8s might be I've been seeing a lot of 4s and 8s actually. But 4s and 8s might be something for you, or 48. See? Okay, let's look. And then we've got respite. Bitch, they be saying 4 of Swords. Come on, take care of yourself. Really get good in your somebody has dropped. I think somebody's in that space of taking care of themselves and rebuilding themselves up. Like whatever the effect of carrying that fear around, it took a toll on you. And that's why you have been slow to move out of hermit mode. That's the reason why there's a lot of reasons a lot of things that have happened to keep you from shining bright. Like you haven't fully stepped forward, right? You haven't fully moved forward. I don't know why, but I suddenly get the energy of I want to get out there and like have fun and date. Like it just hit me like a wind. Like literally I just saw an image of going out to the bar and meeting some friends and just cackling it up and that kind of stuff. Like I just want to get out there. You know how you act and behave when the warmer weather finally comes around, you're like, "Yay, I can get out." And you're just like, that's what it feels like. That just came through. But it's almost as if like, and I think that that's what they're saying is the beauty of what you have. The beauty of the way to get this new path, this whole complete and new environment is hinged upon you being in your Queen of Cups energy. Like, I don't care if you're good with the Queen of Swords, you're good with, the Queen of Wands. Like, we all know you're good with the Queen of Wands. You had that stick up like a dear motherfucker, I wish you would kind of a thing. Like, like that's both Queen of Swords and Queen of Wands. Like the Queen of Wands is like, I know my worth, bitch. You can get away from me. Like there's boundaries. But then there's also like, but you also need to do this a little bit. Like you need to fill your cup back up. I think this aspect has been a part of what's been hidden. When we're talking about the things, it's like you didn't want to be vulnerable. When we're talking, that's who you really are. You are a very genuine, sincere, loving, giving, sharing, abundant, bubbly for whatever reason. I feel like I want to say you are bubbly, and it's like you've held that back, honey. And so they're like, get that cup full because that's what you have to offer the world the most. Like that is your shit. And so when you hide your Queen of Cups, you're not painting with all the colors of the wind. You feel like I need to hide her away so she isn't hurt. But then that's you not having faith in the Queen of Swords. Because that bitch will come out with her sword drawn. It's like, yes, you're right. There's a lot of people that are around you that are going to be, it's like you don't want your Queen of Cups hurt by all the people who will reject you. By all the people, it's like the fear of the emotions that would be felt when you're this vulnerable and this, like wearing your heart on your sleeve. I guess that's really true. To be completely authentically yourself is like wearing your heart on your sleeve. It's like feeling like you put a target on yourself sometimes because people will try to take that and use that against you. But to have faith that you have all of the elements, that you are not just the Queen of Cups, but that you are also the Queen of Wands. And so you are strong, you are confident. You are protective of your own energy. You're deserving. You establish your fucking boundaries and you uphold them. You have the Queen of Swords. You have the fucking discernment, honey. You have the discernment. You see it for what it is. Are you going to let the value that people place on you or on things, on talents, on anything to dictate you being authentically you? And the more you allow yourself to be vulnerable, the more I just felt like my heart do like the whole wriggle thing, the thing. That's a heart awakening. That's a heart opening. The more you step out and you're allowed yourself to be that, and the more that people pull this shit, and the more that the Queen of Swords comes out and says, no, motherfucker, you can take that somewhere else. It's like the less you'll be afraid to allow that Queen of Cups energy to integrate. Because the Queen of Cups also reminds me of like that childlike wonder and optimism. Like you're afraid to be optimistic again because there's people that will try to poo-poo on it. But that is where this lies. I feel like saying one of the greatest things that you have to offer this world is your cup. But believe you me, the Queen of Cups does absolutely make sure her cup is completely full. She doesn't dump it out for and then leave it empty. And that's what they're really saying, because the Ace of Cups is all about self-love, but it's also, they've been focusing on us, guys. There is a massive message, and somebody needs to fucking get it. And we will keep talking about this shit until you fucking get it. You need to open your heart. And if we have to talk about it in 10 different ways and from 10 different lenses until it finally lands, then so fucking be it. All right, let's read the transformation. A fundamental change is not only needed, but perfectly possible if you open your mind. So Zagan, which is the fallen angel here, was a patron of the old alchemists, possessing, as he does, the secrets of transmutation, basically. Some legends say that it was Zagan who helped Jesus perform his miracle at the wedding, and it inspired the similar miracle in the Last Supper where he turned water into wine, that transmutation. This is all about transformation. All about transformation. Okay, let's do the respite. I feel like this respite, this Four of Swords, is that transformation. It is what allows this to come out. It allows this to shine. 43. Let's just hear this. And then I'll sit and bathe in the energy of it really quick. Halfus. Are you shitting me? I'm liking this card right fucking now. Peace and prosperity appear to be yours to enjoy. In human affairs, his talent is overseeing the building of sturdy and well-provisioned structures. He's farsighted, so he can sense the approach of danger long before there is any clear evidence of it. Thus, in peacetime, when most people just want to relax and enjoy their good fortune and prosperity, he urges preparation for war. It's like always being prepared, always being like not resting on your laurels. This represents peace through strength. It's almost giving the energy of, in this time of the Four Swords, when you are ensuring that your cup is full, just know that it's for another reason, because it's a part of the next step, that there's always going to be another step. Like, it's almost like this replenishment time and willingness to open your heart is meant to, that transformation is purposeful because there's something yet to come, is what it feels like to me. Let's find out what that is. Let's talk about this. Spirit, help me understand. But there's a lot of transformation in taking that pause, but it's like what transforms during that pause, during that self-nurturing. I say pause because I'm talking about respite. It's not necessarily pause. It is taking the time to fill your cup back up. What that transformation that's going to occur through that is for the next step to come, is for the purpose of this. Like, don't hold back. Allow yourself to open your heart. Allow that transformation to happen. Okay, so we have the death card, which is the ultimate transformation card, right? It is the death and the rebirth, right? It is the death to something else. It is the death to the fear, right? And then the birth to your heart awakening. So this transformation is that piece that they're talking about. And what they're meaning by this period of time is meant to help you carry on, because there's more to come. We've got Three of Pentacles here, and we've been focusing and talking about the Two of Pentacles, where it's like building one step on the other. Like, we've got the Ace of Pentacles, and then the Two of Pentacles is like the evolution or the expansion, and then the Three of Pentacles is almost like it's that building, that co-creation, that cooperation. It is the expansion. That's what the Three of Pentacles is. Funny, because flanking that, we have the Ace of Cups again. And remember, I told you I kept seeing the ocean, like there's something about the water and everything else like that. And it's literally called Root of the Powers of Water. There's a lot of destiny that feels like it's being highlighted on this. Something fated, something already written. And this is where that maybe that spiritual is. It's like you couldn't, like, your palate's been cleansed, right? We were talking about the ocean and how like your channel is clear. Your channel's clear now, and your full express, like things can move forward because you've put down the fear. Your palette is cleansed. You have a whole new palette now to express through, because of the fear being put down, because of not giving that weight anymore, and because of opening your heart. And so it's as if like this allows you to kind of step into your destiny. We have the Ace of Cups and the High Priestess. And in this particular High Priestess, she always holds a book. Like, I heard the Keeper of the Knowledge. Like, she knows. And this is more etheric, like spiritually based knowledge, like something that is like the Akashic records, like something that is meant to occur, but requires a full cup, or requires you to have that clear channel so that you can move forward. So you've been clouded. And the thing that got rid of the cloudiness, or the blinders, or the confusion, was putting down the fear. And it's leading you to the next step, which is your destiny. So if we're currently at the Two of Pentacles, which is this transformative period where you are allowing your heart to open back up again, and you're connecting with people, and you're allowing your heart to feel like be involved in all that you do, all the actions that you take, like your heart's in it now, and it's like it's scary at first, but the more you do it, the less you worry about it, the more you become accustomed to it, and the less you allow other people to influence you, right? And it's like having faith in your discernment, your ability now to step out and be this vulnerable person, to be authentically, completely you, right? And not to give a shit what other people think, because obviously people are going to try and say some shit and do some shit and whatever else. You're going to see old people and new faces. It's not going to stop, right? Like there's always going to be dark. And healing doesn't mean that you're impervious to it. Healing means you can withstand it, that you can outmaneuver it, that you can move through it. That your value and what you place value on is greater than anybody else's. And from that, you realize your dreams and your prosperity. And this new world opens up to you. So it feels as if they're saying, you may be in this moment in that Four of Swords, in that giving to the self again. And not to skip over that, because that's the Two of Pentacles. That's the expansion on something. That's the next step. Like this Four of Swords, self-love, Queen of Cup energy, transformative period and respite, is because the very next thing after that, after you've achieved integrating your Queen of Cups energy and having your cup on offer, discerningly, obviously, but your cup is full, the next step is this. So your channel is going to be clear. Your gifts and abilities and talents will flow like they have never flown before. Your palette is completely cleansed. It's cleansed of anybody else's dirty shit that could have tampered with, impeded, or changed any of the colors you painted on the wind with, right? Like this is you. Like the value of being authentically you is beyond what you've ever realized. And it means that something more is going to happen. It will, what yet is to come, or what is next to come, that will build on this, hinges on you doing this. And stop limiting yourself and believing that opening your heart just means dating or romance. Because you've had your heart closed off to your passions, to making certain connections. You know, when you have your heart closed off, you lack faith in other people. You lack optimism. You lack optimism and belief. So your job right now is to be in that second step. To be in this phase of respite and rejuvenation and getting back to who you really are. Getting back to the lively, energetic, giving, sharing, nurturing, loving, larger than life, inner child, expressive person that you were. Because you've been hiding that because of fear. And what's to come is what is written, is what's been destined, is what's you even feel is for you, right? That's what the Ace of Cups is. You're following your heart. By following your heart and taking care of this and following your intuition, you're going naturally towards what's for you, what's destined for you, what's written for you in this book. But you don't realize how important this step is. So your I don't care if you're like win, win, win. When you fucking do this, when you restore the optimism, when you open yourself up, because the lack of optimism and the pessimism, the fear is fucking stifling you, and you are not really your true self. And I'm sorry, that is not something spirit can do for you. That is a you job. That is a fucking you job. And yes, it may be hard to figure it out. I don't understand, and how do I get? That's still your job. And literally, it's one of those things, you can lead a horse to water. You can't fucking make them drink. Spirit can talk about this in 25 different fucking ways. And if you choose to not understand, because we do that sometimes, then that is on you. If you choose to be defensive and have that wall up to the messages that are coming to you on how you can approach this and how you can, you know what I mean? And if you choose to not do the internal work, that is on you, not spirit. But I feel like people, whoever this is for, is right in this sweet spot. It's like you're opening up, but it's like you're just about to take the action. Meaning, how you move in life looks different when you've really opened up. But you got to start letting yourself move in that new energy of an open heart. You've opened up and you're like, it's kind of like being in a warm, like, or it's like summertime when you're in the sun and you're really hot, you're baking, and you step into a cold pool and you're like, and you almost freeze for a minute to acclimate. Yeah. And the best defense to any future impending whatevers, which are these motherfuckers that'll judge you, reject you, or anything else like that, is to love yourself and fill your cup up. Because we even talked about, like, what is this card right here? The respite is like, prepare yourself in peace for future war. Like you are not always going to be loved. Love yourself. Fill your cup up. Protect your heart in a different capacity by consistently choosing you. Because these motherfuckers, absolutely, they always exist in one form or fashion to some degree or other. Okay? Putting the fear down, your job. Opening your heart, your job. And in the beginning, we talked about, like, I think the whole thing, was it Toad that talks about, or the nightmare where it's, you can't just leave it to spirit. Again, spirit can lead you like a horse to water. They can't fucking make you do it. It is co-creation. And there are aspects, it's not always actions that are external. Sometimes it is exactly what we need to do. It's owning ourselves. And you might trip and stumble as you try to do that. And that's okay. That's okay. But I tell you, if you allow that to stop you, then you haven't really put that fucking fear down. It still owns you. Tea is not hot anymore. Thank you. Love light shadows. I like it. Thank you. That's true. Amen. The last statement Amen made is about, like, humbling to forgive ourselves and be at peace. And that's when you're able to forgive others. That's true. You can only meet somebody as deeply as you've met yourself, right? That's definitely a saying. And in all honesty, sometimes I don't know if you, there's the opposite too, where it's easy to forgive somebody else. It's hard to forgive ourselves because you realize the self sabotage, the self abandonment that had to occur, and the lack of self love in order for that to occur. So the opposite can be true, but also in forgiving ourselves, I think we then can truly, not surface, but truly forgive others. It's true. All right, let's see here. So I feel like this is complete. I got to be honest with you. I feel like they said what the fuck they said. If anybody wants to know what this deck is, it's called Moon Magic. I keep calling it my moon deck, but that's not technically what I mean. It is my moon deck, but it's technically not what it's called. So, oh, listen, LP and Eamon talking about like music, the lyrics. I tell you what, I get a lot of messages for that shit. 8-8, guys. I fucking shit you not. 8-8. All right, so. And you know, the more that you allow yourself to be authentically you, the more you become comfortable with other people being themselves too. And the more you become okay if people need to fall away, right? Like if somebody when someone's just not in alignment, it doesn't have to be a battle. You don't have to have this major, massive disagreement to not be in alignment. Like, to say, okay, well, I guess we're just not on the same page, and to not hang out. Like, it's not a big deal, guys. We take everything as rejection when really it's like, maybe that's just two people honoring themselves. Right? Yeah, Colors of the Wind. Wait, yesterday's sketch was by Colors of the Wind. Did I say Colors of the Wind yesterday? Or was it A Whole New World? Today is a Disney thing. Okay. I don't know why they wanted that done, and I don't feel like I'm done, and I'm trying to figure out what the fuck they want. They want to go into a more tangible, different message. Thank you. I was like, where are we going with this? Moon and the Ace of Pentacles. Oh, this feels yummy. Oh, don't you love it when something feels yummy? We've got the Ace of Wands and the Ace of Pentacles, y'all. Y'all, make sure that you're sharing my channel with people, because when you're the tarot reader that's willing to say whatever the fuck you want, period, point blank, and then you don't do normal readings like other people. You know, I come on live and do these things, and I don't placate to the algorithm and shit like that, which I'm going to start doing some pre-recorded again. But you know, I'm just not your same old, same old. YouTube doesn't usually push you out very much, right? And so I rely on you all and your interactions and, you know, all that kind of stuff. Or even, like maybe I'm meant to be low key just for the right people, but like, you know, I'd love to find them, you know? And so if you think that somebody could benefit from coming to these, by all fucking means, share the channel with them. Okay. What? Oh, okay, gotcha. Well, I mean, there's a lot of people that I'm like, I know I'm not for. But you know, if people are if it's by word of mouth, you tend to get more of the right people, in my opinion. You know what I mean? Like you know, there's that middle buffer. Anyways. All right, so I got a very, like, it's funny because here's the thing, I was getting a very pentacle-y energy. Don't you love my terminology? Because, you know, I make up words. A very pentacle-y energy, and then so finally when I pulled it, it was like, oh, Ace of Pentacles, right? I was like, okay. So that's the reason why this came out. That's why they pulled on this. I think there's somebody's desire is about to bloom, or somebody's wish is about to come to fruition. That's for somebody. Knight of Pentacles. Don't worry, I'll start putting on makeup soon and do my hair and everything. Full card. We're off to a great start. Brand new, spanking, fucking new offer, or yeah. The Knight of Pentacles is always an offer to me. Always. Like, this is like something being offered up to somebody. Explain yourself. It's just what you needed. This is a legit somebody coming in and offering you something that's going to balance out something in your life. I feel like it's money. So I feel like there's like an opportunity to make money, or an opportunity to bring some kind of balance or consistency. It's like whatever you're missing from your financial situation or from your material world, is someone's going to be able to come in and offer it. We've got this and full card, which is something very brand new. We've got this coming in. So it's some kind of new offer, new start is what I heard. And we got the Six of Pentacles. So what's on offer is like the resources, the hand up, the key to get out, like whatever it is. So, and then over here, it's obviously about something that you are, you like, it's taking up space in your mental realm. It's like, if there was something that I've been worried about, it's this. You know, when you try to think about something so much, it's very Virgo energy. I'm going to be honest with you. You overanalyze it to the point of like paralysis. Like, you're like, there's no way for me to dance. I can't think of any other way to do this. I can't think of any other way to address this. Like, I've literally depleted my brain cells. Page of Pentacles. When I tell you you're going to get news on this, this is news coming in of an offer. This is like communication of an offer. Something's on fucking offer. And it brings balance. Are you going to give me anything else, Baron? Oh, they're saying with the page, it's again, which I thought we established. We've got the Knight of Pentacles. So it's a really solid, trustworthy, good option is what I want to say, of an offer, right? Like it's backed by something integral. And then we've got the Full card, which is like, it gives you a fresh start. That's what they're saying. This is like, but then they said new. It's new. Like if you're thinking that you were like something was on offer to you before, and like you're finally gonna have something come in, I feel like it's a new thing. It's like maybe even what's being offered is like whatever the job is. Maybe it's a new position that's created. So it's kind of like there's not like it's not been in this company for a while. It could be like a business that just started. So it's like in baby form, because I'm getting the page energy. They're focusing on the page energy of this. And so there's something about this project that's new. Like it just started. It's not been out. It's not as visible. It hasn't grown yet. It hasn't attracted as much attention, or it's just like, we're winging it. We've created a new position and we don't really know exactly what this position is going to completely do, or we created a new department, or we've got a new idea we want to expand on, but we don't really know how we're going to do it. So it's kind of like in the brainstorming phase. It feels like that. Okay. But yeah, you're going to get news on this. And of course I put the Temperance card under the Six of Pentacles. See, you've been stressing because you've been having to handle something all on your own here. And it's been a bit of a struggle. You've really had to... I just feel like the Nine of Swords in this one isn't so much like... There's fear wrapped up. There's anxiety, but it's like just mental exhaustion. Can I just tell you that? If you got the Nine of Swords mixed with the Ten of Wands, I mean, the level of exhaustion, like it's like having to jump through hoops to figure something out, or struggling to try and figure something out on your own. And like just having to manage up to this point. Like also the Ten of Wands, this is talking about like a passion or something that you've gone after, actions that you've been taking. Like you've been tirelessly trying to take actions towards something, and it's not really, but you're almost home. Like there's this castle in the background. What is this one right here? Oh my God. They're telling me there might be a risk with it. Like this page energy, like might feel a bit risky to do this. It's funny they say that because it's backed by something very integral though. Like maybe they don't know how well received this thing's going to be. And so you're like, gosh, like it's not established. So what if it doesn't do well? I just get terminated? Like that kind of thing. You know what I mean? Because there's a decision that has to be made. And I want to say this is intuitive, obviously. And it's a decision. To describe the Two of Swords as a decision between, and we might just be, it's like between old patterns, old beliefs, self-entrapment, maybe fear, Devil card. We talked about fear earlier, and following your truth, or following a new path, like a new again, like we talked about a sword, Ace of Swords is all about communication, owning your truth, but a whole new world view. But I've also likened it to, with a sword, you clear your path as you go. So it's almost like it again lends itself to this, like a trailblazer. Thank you, Spirit. Like you have to create your own path on this. It's not like a well-established cookie cutter job or role. And so that is the element of risk. And you're kind of like, I don't know. You may have some uncertainty about it because of that. And so it's like, be careful not to let your fears dictate things. I get the sense that it's something you would like, but you're like, what is this risk? Let's talk about that. Let's ask what the risk is, Spirit. Can you give us a little bit more? It's a pivot change. That's why we say it's a bit of a baby. It's like, oh, that's what I meant to tell you. I started laughing because they were giving me information, and I was like, I heard it. He said, "I'm just a baby." TikTok, that little sound bite where they go, "I'm just a baby," and it's like, but sorry, they're giving me stuff. Yeah, okay, sorry. Let me explain. We've got the Knight of Swords, and then we have the Three of Wands. Three of Wands is also like, this is like taking the chance. I mean, he's galloping through with his sword. He's cutting shit away, right? Like, this is a pivot change. This is like 180. Like, drastic change would come from this, right? And so it's like, maybe that's it. It's like, is all of this change worth it when I don't know how it's going to be received? Because the Three of Wands is Ace of Wands. You've got the passion, the idea, the project. Two of Wands, taking action towards it. And then Three of Wands, waiting to see how it'll be received, right? So there may be a level of like doing something that hasn't really been quite done before, but so you don't really know how it's going to be received. They're giving me, this is the dumbest example, but they're giving me an example of, there's this dude on TikTok, I swear to God, who thought of an idea and he turned it into a fucking business. And he's like, think of the person that gets on your nerves, or think of the person you don't like, or think of the person you want to play a prank on. And what he does is he creates this box and he puts dirt in it, and it's an envelope or a box, and he puts like a little something and a note and all kinds of stuff. And it's like, it's meant to be like be an a-hole to somebody, and to be like, I don't fucking like, you're dead to me kind of thing, that kind of thing. And people put little messages in it, right? And like, you've got spouses doing it to one another as a prank, and then you got real people sending it to their boss and everything. It blew up. He makes good money on it. Some crazy idea. Put it out there and it blew up. Okay. It's that kind of energy. But he didn't know. He didn't know that it was going to be, but it was like, it's a stark contrast from anything that he was doing. And nobody else was really doing something quite like that. And so, I mean, maybe people will, you know what I mean? That kind of thing. So it's like, but I also get the energy of this pivot brings in your ships. So let's find out. Wait, what? Okay. So, okay, the risk is it's a complete stark change from what you've been doing, or what, you know. Oh, no, I don't understand this. I might pull another deck, but I'm gonna. This is a whole fucking book. There's something about, like, to get what you're wanting to achieve, you're going to have to make a decision on this. You might be a bit hesitant, but you've got to answer the call on this. You got it within you to do this. It's going to create the life that you want. It has such potential to grow and create legacy. Okay. Because that's a whole book. I'm not going to go through the whole thing. I want to concise this. So it's like you're being guided to this. I got to be honest with you. Let me tell you what this is. I got the 6 of Swords. This is the pivot. This is the transition that needs to happen. 6 of Swords. This is going to get you where you need to be. But we've got the 5 of Swords. It may create conflict. There may be arguments because of this. Because we've got one person who has like all these other swords and 2 people walking away. And it's almost as if, like, I've heard one time, like one person wins out at the expense of 2 other people, or at least that's how someone sees it, right? Like they take it as betrayal, but it's really you, like somebody in this situation had to come out on top. Someone was going to win or get their way, and you just happen to be the one, right? And so it's like people may resist. People may throw a fit over you doing this, and you're like, do I really want to walk right the fuck into that? Because it's the 10 of Swords. And it's almost like you anticipate the shit show that somebody's going to create for you because of this, or attempt, right? But with this one, they're, normally with the 10 of Swords, they're in the person's back. But when they're in the front, that tells me you walk right the fuck into this. You saw it and you walked right into this. And so you're questioning, do I really want to go this route or do this when I know that what I could be potentially walking into? Yet it's like you're being guided to do just that. So, okay, so it's a risk. So whatever this is going to create such change, but you're going to reap your rewards from it. Tell me about the 5 of Swords. That's what let me pull a different deck. I want a different deck on this. We're going to pull the Secret Tarot. Tell me about the 5 of Swords. Because might I add, not only is somebody victorious, but the other 2 fucking just give up. They throw their swords down. Like, the argument will end. The conflict of it will end. It's like if you just move forward, they won't be able to do anything. Like whatever conflict, argument, truths may be spoken because of your choice or decision, just keep moving forward. We've got the Chariot card with the Strength card. Like, just do it. It's going to require you to be, like, have your mind and your heart in alignment with this. It's going to require all of you to be willing to do this. And it's going to require strength. And there may be people that disagree with it. And in fact, maybe to a certain degree, that creates conflict in your own mind. We do have the Nine of Swords and the Ten of Wands here. And you here as the Two of Swords trying to make a decision. But the decision has to be, is it based in fear or is it based in your truth? It creates confusion for you. So, Seven of Cups, this just creates confusion for you. And it gets you a bit up in your head. We've got the Tower mixed with the Three of Pentacles, which was from the get-go. The Three of Pentacles is like this collaborative or this expansion or this work, this new elevation in your money or career. This new opportunity is an elevation. It is like, it's, and it just, because, the Three of Pentacles is a collaborative, but it's also about putting something on display for other people to see. And whatever it is you've got the Nine of Swords here. It has you up in the head. Is it worth it? Is what you're asking yourself. Is it worth any scrutiny? Is it worth people arguing with me? Is it worth what people will do to try to shut me down? Is it worth the risk? Because maybe the risk isn't the other people, but it's just like, gosh, if I go this route, then am I setting myself up for failure? So tell us about the opportunity then. Tell us about the Knight of Pentacles then. And then we'll be done soon, guys. Tell us about the Knight of Pentacles. I lack the inability to hold on to things. I have tiny little hands, guys. Okay. Yeah, it's a new area. I get that. Yes. Okay. You didn't necessarily explain this and why it came out. I get this. I gotta be honest with you. We got the King of Cups, which I feel like it talks about opening your mind and your heart to other people. And then on this Strength card, it says release any kind of harsh judgments, which kind of reminds me of the old reading where it's like, has some of that. And then it says trustworthy relationships. The 10. This is about sharing connections with other people. The 10 of Cups is, and so it's literally like you just need to be open to the idea of being able to trust somebody. To help you. It's like, even if this, whether it's love or it's not, it's like you have to be open to somebody, trusting that someone has your best interest, trusting that someone cares for you. That if help is given, it won't be held over your head. This is a part of that heart awakening. It's allowing yourself to receive. Because right here, it's like, take time to heal. It's like there's something very healing about allowing this to happen. And then they revisit the Page of Pentacles. It came out again. Literally says good news about financial matters, a new area. Like a new area of study, a new area of work. Like it's new. That's what I kept getting with the page over here. I mean, it's like, I'm just a baby. That kind of shit. It's getting on my fucking nerve. Like, trust the backing of this. You can trust the entity, institution, or like, some people, they got crazy ideas. If this was like a Knight of Wands who's like, ooh, good idea, let's do it. And then it's like, oh shit, I would not. If I were you, it's not worth the investment. But this is the Knight of Pentacles. This is an integral source. Solid, sturdy, secure. Bringing this in. It's just the project, the event, the relationship, the whatever it is new. Although I get really pentacly energy from this. And then it literally says, release fears that hold you back on this new area. And Hermit, like, allow your truth to prevail. Because remember, the Hermit, his lantern, he follows that. That's how he knows the direction to go. So it's like, are you going to choose based upon fear, the risk that's involved with this? Or are you going to choose based upon the truth, your truth? Allow your inner light to guide. Don't allow fears to hold you back. Whatever this new thing is, this new area of potential is, it's going to help you financially. It's the Six of Pentacles energy. It is a stark contrast. I want to say it's a 180 to something. It's a dramatic change, of course. It's the pivot. You was going this way, and then it's like, oh, gotta go this way now. I'm like, oh, okay, I wasn't anticipating that. You know what I'm saying? But it is where your ships will come in. And it is where you're being guided, just so that you're aware. Okay? And you just need to say yes and dedicate yourself to this wholeheartedly. Don't allow voices of other people to interfere, even if it's like just like remnants of voices where you hear things you've been told throughout your entire life, right? That echo in the back. It's like a lot, like, just, and if anybody wants to argue with you on this or try to give you false advice, right? And you're conflicted. You're like, should I do this? What if I don't win this battle? I'll have nobody to blame but myself. I'll walk right the fuck into it. Like I'm gonna ask, is there anybody that's gonna oppose you taking this? Like that's what I fucking want to know. Is somebody actually going to oppose you taking this? Like, are they gonna say some shit? Is anybody going to oppose them if they go? Like, it's like you fear what you're gonna get yourself into. I think the fear is greater than the reality. You may fear what somebody's reaction is or fear conflict because of this. So you're up in your head, but it's not going to pan out that way. Like anybody who's in the position to make a decision, it's going to be in your favor. Like this shit's coming and it's really good. Like you can trust it. The official person, in the description, it says this acts as an exclamation point to the surrounding cards. If the only fucking card that comes out is great fortune, it's like saying great fortune, exclamation point. Like, see ya! Like, yes. So the fears are probably not real. And maybe this is like you thinking you're gonna have to prepare for battle. Because I am picking up on other people, but maybe this is your saving grace. Because we did see the swords put down, and it's like, maybe this is a battle they can't win. They may feel, if there's anybody else involved in this, because we do have the Three of Swords, which is also about separation, having to leave something behind. If someone is aggravated or upset with you because, how are you going to choose this? Tough fucking shit. Okay? There may be some masculines in your environment that you're concerned about. I do get that these are people. And it just so happens on the Five of Swords, there was 2 people in the background. So that's your concern. There are legitimately people, like, yeah, some very, not adversary, like people who would stand against it, but like, and for that reason, it's like a toxic masculine energy that would like try to exert themselves. Like you're concerned about that. You're thinking that is what's going to happen. But they're like, obviously the swords get put down because they can't win this battle. So whoever you may be concerned about, and gender doesn't matter. Anybody can exert toxic masculine energy when they try to control a situation or a person, okay? They're saying there's a resolution to this issue. You'll come to some kind of an agreement because there's a battle they cannot win. Because I'm getting adjudication and marriage. A marriage card is like the contracts or legal documents or like agreements. So coming to some kind of an agreement or compromise. And it's like the adjudication card is making a final decision. It is the person that, but it's also about a resolution. So it's almost like you'll come to some kind of agreement or resolve the issue. And that they're saying there's no real reason for you to be concerned. Bad health is usually because of the level of anxiety of something. And it's like a high honor. There's like an elevation out of a situation. Okay, anything else? We have main female and sudden wealth. It gets real irritating for anybody who's in their toxic masculinity to encounter or lose favor or lose control over a feminine in their like a positive feminine aspect. And basically what I'm seeing is you're depicted in the feminine energy, male or female, doesn't matter, because you're the one that's receiving. And obviously toxic masculinity would make people won't want you to receive something. But there's a message, there's an opportunity offer that's gonna like sudden changes. It's gonna be exceptionally good. And that's all you fucking need to know. And the reason you think that it's a risk, it's a major risk. It's like, do I do this and have it blow up my face? Because it's something new. It's not well established, but it's backed by something very integral. So the risk actually is minimized. But you're like, yeah, well, what if I go to let's I'll give you a scenario. You have to move to take a job, right? But like, in order to do it, you have to sell your house because you're like, I can't really rent it out. Like, it's just too much for me right now. Do I really want to sell my house and move there and then just like in a year be done with, like lose the job and it doesn't work out, lose the contract? Is it worth the risk? Right? Or it's like, I've got to move for this job and you know what? I'm gonna have I'm gonna have to. I've got a child, and I'd have to talk to the other parent, and they're gonna oppose it. But maybe the other parent doesn't have a leg to stand on. And you're like, is it even worth going there? As good as it presents, because if it just falls through, was it really worth it to my child to move there then? Like you're like afraid, or what if I don't get to move with my child? Like, what if I ask the courts to be able to go and they say no, and because of that, they place my child with the other parent? And it's like, I don't plan on going unless my child can go with me, and I wouldn't ask if this wasn't very necessary. And okay, you can go places with it, right? And you're like so worried, but it's like y'all come to some kind of compromise. Like what you fear is going to happen. You're like, is the thing that on offer as good as it looks worth the risk of what I fear could potentially happen? Would it be worth the risk? And Spirit's like, yeah. I feel like saying nobody can stop you. You do have to be brave enough to take the offer, though, which can feel very scary because that's you walking right the fuck into this shit. You're like, oh, okay. It's not like something that imploded and you had no idea about. This is you intentionally went this route, and so if it implodes, you're like, oh, and so this is all you preemptively worried about it, and they're going, I'm telling you right now, there'll be a compromise, there'll be a solution, a resolution, an agreement reached. And this is like the best thing for you. This is going to elevate you out of your current circumstances. So are you going to give into your fears or follow this new path and your truth? That's the reading. But can I just say, it's like almost as if good fortune is guaranteed. And we always ask spirit, like, if you can guarantee this for me. And they're like, oh, I'm telling you. It's that old adage, spirit can lead a horse to water, but cannot fucking make them drink. Even if spirit tells you verbatim, you're good, everything will go your way. Which one will you succumb to? The fear? Or following your truth, following your North Star? Already been given the information. But when push comes to shove, what are you going to do? Choice is yours. Choice is yours. All right, that's it for today. Any questions, guys? Any questions? It is. It is. And that's the choice, isn't it? Mishka says the devil with the Ace of Swords is like setting yourself free from the devil's energy and from that fear. And it's like, it is. And that was really the decision that had to be made, right? That's the decision. That's the decision. Right? Mm-hmm. Oh, I like that one. God opens doors no men can shut. I like that one. I know that's a saying, but like I didn't think to say that with this. It's like what you think that the opposition could do is really just in your head, and it's like do it anyways. Like they don't have the ability to win this one. They'll throw the swords down. So, alrighty then. I just heard hold me through the fear. And that sounds like somebody is saying that to spirit. Like they're going, all right, hold me through the fear. And then doing it. So. Whew. Okay, guys, I hope that was beneficial. I'm going to hop off. You all have a fantastic, wonderful day. And I will hop on again at another point. Peace out.